Sony's latest console is still very young, but it's already amassed a solid little library of role-playing titles. In this video, I will show you some best PS5 RPG games. But before we start this video, please subscribe to my channel Games Puff and press the bell icon for more gaming videos. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Immortals Fenyx. If Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed Odyssey exist on a spectrum, Immortals Fenyx Rising is somewhere in between. Although Link, Zelda, and the rest of Hyrule aren't here, the bright, grassy fields and physics-based puzzles are abundant in Ubisoft's mythical, action-adventure game. Cassandra and the many systems of Assassin's Creed Odyssey are here too, in the Rai hero Fenyx, and in the many icons on the map. Next up we have Demon's Souls. Bluepoint Games, the studio behind Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, and 2018's fantastic Shadow of the Colossus remake, remade the 2009 classic from the ground up as a PS5 launch title. Dark Souls is credited as the game that popularized the Souls-like genre that provides tough-as-nails, methodical third-person melee combat in an intriguing, lore-heavy world. But Demon's Souls is the all-important forerunner, and it's never looked or felt better than on the PS5. Next up we have Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. At some point during my time with Disco Elysium: The Final Cut, after I read yet another minutes-long dialogue sequence to try and learn more information about the game's murder mystery, I realized I felt like I was slowly working my way through a long novel, one that went just a little bit over my head. In The Final Cut, an enhanced version of the 2019 cult hit role-playing game that made its console debut on PlayStation in March, you play as a cop with amnesia investigating a murder case about a hanged man. Next up we have Yakuza Like a Dragon. Releasing almost 5 months after it came to PS4, Yakuza Like a Dragon is finally out on PS5, and whilst it does have some nice visual upgrades, the upgrade is lacking any real meaningful improvement over the PS4 version of the game. Next up we have Judgment. Originally released in North America in 2019 for PlayStation 4, Judgment was a similarly paced but differently plotted story-focused spin-off of the Yakuza crime RPG series. Orienting the player on the other side of the law, though with plenty of moral grayness to navigate, Judgment spun a detective story and legal drama in the middle of the Yakuza underworld, predicating its charms and mechanics on finding clues, interrogating suspects, tailing perps, and more than occasionally beating the shit out of goons. Next up we have the Nioh Collection. The Nioh games are deliberately difficult uphill battles against all manner of demonic foes. As you slaughter your way through each level, the experiences boast serious loot customization and build variety, tons of content to grind and conquer, and opportunities to take on big bosses with friends. Oh, and there are many deaths to be had as well, as the Nioh games are brutal without remorse. The tough-as-nails samurai slashers are now available as a remastered double feature with the PlayStation 5's Nioh Collection. Next up we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is built atop the foundation of the new Creed's form and function and provides another opportunity for virtual tourism during a time when people from Scandinavian countries invaded, pillaged, and eventually settled England in the 860s. Now that Valhalla is available for the PlayStation 5, one of the questions that comes to mind is whether or not it makes use of Sony's new hardware. Spoiler, it totally does. Next up we have Outriders. Outriders is an enjoyable, if slightly formulaic, looter-shooter that is at its best when it remembers to be fun, and at its worst when it tries to tell a story. A solid core of fun gameplay, a simple but rewarding mod system, and a responsive difficulty curve do a lot to save the game from mediocrity, and Outriders is much better than mediocre. Next up we have Atelier Ryza 2 Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy. JRPGs are normally concerned with saving the world as edgy anime boys or overcoming a deadly threat that could wipe out the entire universe. It's seldom relaxed, often wanting to hurl the player into an epic journey that surprises at every turn. Atelier Ryza 2 Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy challenges such a notion, and the result is one of the comfiest games I've played in some time. The last game of this video is Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition. Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition is an upgrade over the last-gen versions, that much is obvious. If you've played the game before and want to know how it has improved, I'll get to that, don't worry. But first, I'm going to have a bit of a whinge and a moan about how I'm not good enough to beat this game, because that's the truth, I didn't beat it. What's more is that I've no idea how close I've come to beating the damn thing, or if I've come close at all. So that's the list of 10 best PS5 RPG games that you can play in 2021. If you enjoy this video, Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel Games Puff and press the bell icon for more gaming updates.